Is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander secretly Benjamin Netanyahu? I've done some deep diving, and I can conclude that there is quite a bit of disturbing evidence. First of all, the Thunder had a resurgence after being the 10 seed in the 22-23 season. They suddenly jumped to the number 1 seed in the standings, and they haven't left. Early 23-24 season, October, right? It's low-key when Israel started getting some motion. So when we think about it, those two things coincide. Netanyahu's gaining power, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's gaining power. Also, it seems like OKC just has infinite picks and good players, and SGA himself was traded to OKC with a boatload of picks. The refs seem to glaze OKC. They even wear Shai's shoes. I know some people have probably been seeing that. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander likely casts a spell on Lou Dort to go run around and injure all of the other good players. If they don't get injured on the court, they mysteriously get injuries off the court. I'm convinced that there's an organized group of hitmen going around and somehow weakening the players before the games, and they likely spike their water with some sort of weakening substance. I bet their agents are poisoning them with alcohol because alcohol interferes with protein synthesis, which your body needs to rebuild and repair muscle. That also disrupts hormone balance, like lowering testosterone, which affects strength. Now, let's think for a second. The 23-24 season, who eliminated them? The Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic himself. They went on to the finals. They lost to the Celtics. So, what he learned is that maybe this whole playoff thing, maybe I'm not that good at it. Maybe I need some sort of outside factor tipping the scale in my favor. The following season, what happens? They win first round, but don't forget that Ja Morant mysteriously gets hurt in the first round just when it seems like he could be doing a little something. Then they play against the Nuggets, and I think more eyes are on there, so they have to be a little bit more careful here. Obviously, they don't go for the best player, but they go for the late game killer Aaron Gordon. Now, if you're familiar with last season, Aaron Gordon was quite literally taking the heart of every single team in the playoffs. He was basically Halliburton before Halliburton was doing what he was doing. He had a dunk that won the game. He had a three-pointer that tied the game, sent it to overtime where they won. Then he actually hit a game winner on the Thunder in Game 1. Instead of going for Jokic, I think they went for the smarter plan, which was to go for the guy that was really doing kind of some damage around the sides, and obviously it was a 7-game series. I think they thought, you know what, we take out Gordon. I think we got this Game 7. Gordon goes out with a hamstring. Then they move on to the next round. So I think SGA was going like this behind the scenes. They get to the conference finals. Anthony Edwards, respectfully, doesn't really do anything. Then they go out into the finals. Now, the finals were very interesting because this is another case of the classic scheme to try to get the matchup you want. Was Halliburton clutch? Absolutely. Were there a bunch of injuries that kind of occurred and some weird stuff that went on? Maybe a little bit. Who knows why, but none of the favorites out of the East made it out. Only Tyrese Halliburton and his Pacers made it out. Now, when they get into the finals, of course, everybody was thinking, yeah, OKC, 5, maybe 4 games. But no, Tyrese Halliburton continued to do what he did, proving that he's a little bit more than meets the eye. Game 1, he hits a game winner. So now, all of a sudden, you're in the same situation. It's a Game 7. You need to take out a late game killer. In this case, tragically, it's also their best player, Tyrese Halliburton. So all of a sudden he goes down. One of the hitmen, hits him with a bullet, maybe hits him with the alcohol poisoning before the game. And then they go on and win the championship. Now this season, it's been interesting too. Every single other NBA MVP candidate, with the exception of Jaylen Brown, who's, in my opinion, not a serious candidate. So now SGA stands basically alone in the MVP race, despite trying his absolute best to get everybody else out of here. Just as the Lakers are starting to look good, boom, double down. Who beat him in the playoffs the previous time? It was Luka Doncic. Who suddenly gets an injury when they play against them? Luka Doncic, and you know what? We'll take Austin Reeves too. The only team really standing in their way being the Spurs. Now, I don't wish injury on anybody, but I will surely predict it. When Wemby goes down, it will be because Shai did some work behind the scenes and made it happen. And I'm just saying, I haven't seen the two of them in the same room. I mean, there's been rumors that Netanyahu is dead or, nobody's really seen him. I mean, Shai's got to ramp up for the playoffs, to me, it seems a little bit too much of a coincidence. They're warming up for the playoffs. They're going to make the playoff run. And then we'll see the resurgence of Netanyahu as Prime Minister of Israel. I think if you zoom in really closely onto their pictures, they look a little bit too similar for my liking. Well, that's everything. Let me know what you think. Am I just crazy or am I onto something? All right, peace out.